I'm here with Erick Esteban. He's a Filipino-American comedian based in LA. And we're here to talk about Adam Carolla's recent tirades against Filipinos and Manny Pacquiao. So, how are you doing, Erick?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, good, brother. So, I don't want to beat around the bush. I wanted to ask you what your thoughts about. I mean, you're a comedian. I mean, you're familiar with comedians pushing the envelope and trying to shock people and stuff like that. So, what do you think about Adam Carolla's tirades against Filipinos?
Well, I mean, the first thing that I would say as a comedian is what you should say is it should be funny. And the thing is that a lot of the stuff that he said wasn't funny. It was hurtful. And it was more of a personal vendetta towards Filipinos and towards Manny Pacquiao than it was anything funny. I didn't find anything funny about it, even if I could step back outside of my Filipino-ness and look at it from a comedic sense. There wasn't anything funny about it. It sounded vindictive and actually very racist.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, to me, it's not even comedy. It's racism. And the fact that it's not a bigger story angers me, because it's okay for people to talk about us, and people think it's okay for people to talk about us, and it's not. It's not at all. So I don't know. I mean, I could get upset more if you want, but I don't know if I should.
What do you think he said that was out of line? That, you know what I mean?
Well, for me, it's more the generalizations.
Mm-hmm.
The country of whores. Come on, man. Really?
Yeah.
You want to classify a whole country like that?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what you think of the country, how do you say that on the radio?
Exactly.
And get away with it. Really. I mean, I understand free speech, but you can't yell fire in a theater, right?
Exactly.
There's certain things that push people's buttons. And this really, I mean, in a lot of ways, and to be honest, I was talking to Oliver about it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even heard it because I know that if I hear it, I'll be angry because I just read it,
Mm-hmm.
and the just reading it made my blood boil. Actually hearing him say the words, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, man, he actually said it in a tone that he wasn't even cracking a joke. Like, he was saying that
it wasn't a joke. Even if you just read what he said, there's no way you can turn that around and make it a joke.
Yeah, he was.
It was like a teabagger yelling about healthcare.
Exactly.
It wasn't somebody who was trying to make a joke about Filipinos or the Filipino culture. It was somebody who didn't like the Filipino culture.
Exactly. He was responding to a caller, and he was saying, like, he's sick and tired of all this, stupidity, in his opinion, about Filipinos being proud about Manny Pacquiao, and pretty much blast Filipinos, saying we don't have lives, man. That all we are is Manny Pacquiao and prostitutes, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, and to I hope that what I'll say about I think the last thing I'd want to say about Mr. Carolla is this. I really hope he doesn't have to go to a hospital anytime soon, because there's going to be a lot of Filipinos who are going to be taking care of him, because we're not all whores and Manny Pacquiao packyards. We're also doctors and nurses and people who he might need when he's in trouble. So he might want to think about that before he goes into a hospital next.
True, man. Very well said, brother. And
Thank you,
man, and I've also heard several skits. I mean, yeah, Lisa Lampanelli and other LA comedians. I've heard a lot of stuff that were funny, like against Filipinos. I mean, we're not, you know what I mean? We're not being overly sensitive here. We're not, you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I don't think that we are at all. I mean, the thing about it is that this isn't being politically correct. This is just being correct.
Mm-hmm.
This is not talk. This is respecting a culture, that's been around for a hell of a lot longer than you have. And realizing that there's a lot more to stuff than you can just see with your ignorant eyes.
Exactly. Is this? I mean, you think this is like an underlying symbolism of something bigger, like a bigger issue? Do you think Filipinos are really being, let's say in the comedy field, are Filipinos being underestimated or belittled because of our race? And you know what I mean? Because this is a bold statement coming from someone who has somewhat of a name. You know what I mean? He did had Jack Hole Productions and was with Jimmy Kimmel and still writes for Jimmy Kimmel. But I mean, for somebody to say those stuff against Filipinos, what do you think is behind all of this, man?
You know, I think a lot of it, to be honest, I think is ignorance. You know, and I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean that in that we as Filipinos haven't pushed our culture enough so that enough people can get angry about this because enough people know about our culture. So I think, like, for me as an actor and as a comedian, I've been, you know, for 10 years trying to push Filipino culture into the mainstream so that, you know, people like Adam Carolla doesn't just anger Filipinos. You know, because that's the problem, is that sometimes it's just us that are angry, and when we're angry, it's only, you know, it can only take it so far. But if we can show the beauty of our culture and show the ugliness of what he said, well, then we're in a different level, you know.
Mhm. All right, Eric. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother.
I didn't know I could get that serious side out of you, man. But I guess,
you know,
man.
I'm like the flip side. Yeah, Robin Williams, because he gets his Dead Poet Society and he could do more for more. So, you know, I got to do the mini Pacquiao and then do the serious tip too.
Absolutely, brother. And yeah, man. I guess if they attack your Filipino culture, man, you ain't gonna just lay down
when you come at us, you're gonna come at all of us. So let's go.
Definitely, bro. And on a different note, man. Do you have any shows to promote coming up? What do you got in store?
The only thing that we've got right now is coming up. You guys got to look online because of the success of Mini Pacquiao Cribs, we decided to do a Mini Boo Boy Cribs.